There's a certain kind of person who thinks they're being rational when someone gets close. They're calm, they're collected, explaining everything like it's a math problem, but underneath all that clarity, they're just avoiding intimacy without even realizing it. And if that feels a little uncomfortably familiar, stick with me. You don't default to logic because you were wired that way. You default to logic because it's the only system that you trust when things get a little unpredictable. You learned early that if you can predict the outcome, then you can survive it. So you built a mental machine that runs constant analysis. What do they mean? What's the angle? What's the risk? What's the pattern? What's the safest response? It feels like intelligence. It's actually threat management. So when someone gets close, watch what happens. They try to connect, you start disconnecting. They express a feeling, you translate that into data. They want closeness, you want clarity. You're not connecting, you're monitoring. You're not opening up, you're stabilizing the environment. You're not being logical, you're being defensive. And this is why intimacy feels like a problem. Intimacy is unpredictable, it doesn't follow rules, it doesn't care about your analysis, it doesn't respond to your calm explanations. It's messy, it's emotional, it's chaotic. And your system just simply hates chaos. So it treats intimacy like a threat. Not because you don't want connection, but because connection requires exposure. And exposure is the one thing that your system was built to avoid. And the more logical that you become, the more chaotic that your relationships begin to feel. Because people don't experience your logic as clarity, they experience it as distance, coldness, dismissal, attachment, emotional friction. So they escalate emotionally and you escalate logically. Two incompatible systems start to collide and everything blows up. And then you walk away thinking, see, this is why I don't do intimacy. But the chaos wasn't them at all, it was your firewall. So you might ask the question, where did the system come from? Well, you didn't invent this pattern, it was kind of coded into you. Unstable environments, inconsistent people, emotional voluntarily, situations where feelings were dangerous and unpredictability was more than normal. So you built a structure that kept you safe. And it worked. And it still works. Just not in relationships. Your system wasn't designed for the intimacy, it was designed for you to survive. So, what do you do with yourself? Well, you don't just regulate situations with logic, you regulate yourself with it. Any emotion that threatens stability gets converted into analysis. Anger becomes explanation, fear becomes planning, longing becomes rationalization, vulnerability becomes silence, and then you don't process those feelings. You neutralize them. And that's not clarity, that's compression. The system keeps you safe, but it also keeps you very alone because people don't bond with your logic. They bond with the parts of you that your logic keeps them locked away from. You're not unreachable because you're rational. You're unreachable because you're armored. Your need for logic isn't a personality trait, it's a protective mechanism. But when you apply it to intimacy, it just simply misfires. It treats closeness as instability, it treats vulnerability as danger, and then it treats emotion as noise. But it also treats connection as risk. The system is doing exactly what it was built to do, just in the wrong environment. And if you see yourself in this, here's the truth: you're not too logical. You're simply too defensive. You're not bad at intimacy. You're running survival code in a place where survival isn't required. And until you understand the architecture of that code, you'll keep mistaking protection for personality and logic for connection.